Hey everyone, it's Jeremy Osterberger with BIC Magazine, and thank you for joining us today as we preview the upcoming 57th Annual ECC PerspECCtives Conference. This conference is taking place September 3rd to the 5th at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center in National Harbor, Maryland. And this year's ECC conference is set to deliver another dynamic program of great keynote speakers, industry forums, and invaluable networking opportunities, primarily for capital projects professionals across the engineering and construction community. And I'm so excited, guys, to be joined by some real heavy hitters. We got Jan Shumate, Director of Worldwide Engineering and Construction Solutions at Eastman. We've got Ben Fromenthal, Regional Manager of Business Development for MMR Group, and Arnie Salinas, VP of Downstream for Arion. Also, these folks are 3 ECC board members who have been instrumental in shaping this year's event. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Jeremy.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, guys. Thank you, Jan, for jumping in. So Jan, I want to start with you. Let's kick things off. I mean, we got to get some things out of the way. And that is, for those who may not be fully familiar with ECC or new to the organization, or perhaps on this video and podcast, they know nothing about ECC. What is the mission of the organization, and how does the annual PerspECCtives Conference support that mission?
So first of all, we've got to reach out to those people. They've got to find out about ECC because it is a fantastic experience and so many different events throughout the year. But I'm going to focus specifically on the conference. We have a group of future leaders, a group of board members, executive advisory committee members that work all year long. So we began planning for this upcoming PerspECCtives Conference a year ago. And the whole goal of the conference is to bring people from across our industry together: suppliers, owners, operators, EPC firms, consultants. Bring all of those people together to learn industry trends, things that are happening in the geopolitical environment, business techniques, skills, interpersonal skills and developments, and really allow you to chart your own course at the event as well. So it's a great event. And you did mention people that maybe didn't know about this. So we also have a first-time attendees reception. So if you're afraid of stepping in, don't be. If you show up, there's that reception to get you oriented and get you on the right path very first evening of the event.
And you won't be alone. There'll be some others there to make you more comfortable, right?
Absolutely.
So Jan, you've had like a 30-something year career with Eastman. Tell me a little bit about, your background. And then I'd like to know sort of what was your first intro into ECC?
So I've been very fortunate to work for the same company for several decades now. We won't talk about how many years, Jeremy, but a variety of different roles. So I've seen projects from the procurement side, from the engineering design side, and then from the leadership and support services side, and really got involved in ECC very early in my career. I came to the conference to learn technical details, learn about contracting strategies, best ways to really launch a project. And so as a starting engineer, I got some really good tips and takeaways to do my job well. Then had the privilege to be nominated by my company as a future leader, which was wonderful for me to develop leadership skills, to introduce me to people across the industry and develop networking capabilities, and then to move into a board assignment in the years after that and be able to give back to our industry, and now serve on the executive advisory committee. Again, giving back to our industry and being able to really learn what's going on across it every day.
Thanks, Jan, for sharing a little bit about your background. So, Arnie, I'm going to go to you. The theme of the ECC PerspECCtives Conference is Together We Will Thrive. I want you to talk about that and what it means in the context of the industry today, where we are, and how it shaped the programming for this year's event in 2025.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy. So thrive, and we always have 3 bullet words that go along with that: adapt, perform, and innovation. So as we sit together, we kick this thing off and we go through these word clouds, and it's about 2 or 3 months of excitement. And I don't think that's right. I don't think this is right. But after eventually the solution appears. And this year we settled on thrive, adapt, perform, innovate. And then from there, we structure our keynote speakers, our forums around that theme, and carry that all the way through, and then eventually through extra. So together, I mean, it's there's a committee leading this up. And we're looking forward to, hey, how can we build things better? How can we work better together? But also it's, convincing our teams, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're more just swapping it out. That's one of the things. People are hesitant to change, but how do we push through that, and how do we advance and really perform more efficiently together?
No, I appreciate you saying that, Arnie, and appreciate the committee's commitment to great content, which we're about to dig into. But Arnie, before we do that, talk about your journey to ECC and how did you get involved in the organization?
So mine was a little bit different. I didn't even participate in the Future Leader Program. I randomly got a call during 2022. So we're just coming out of COVID. And, hey, what are you doing this Thursday? I'm like, what do you need me to do, right? I'll go. My manager took me under it, and he extended an invitation to ECC mid-year SOS session. And it was awesome. 4 hours later, I was hooked. And then, hey, I want to go to San Antonio and expanded my network. And then next thing you know, you have all these partners, and you look like a genius when you're in front of a client and they're asking for modular fabricators or epoxy coaters. And I'm like, oh, I got this guy. Oh, let's call this person and this person. So once I saw all that, how I was developing and growing, I was like, hey, I'm in. I want to give more. I want to participate more. And so through attendance, through all these, and I was fortunate that people saw the excitement, how excited I was, and got me here. So yeah, that's right on the board. I'm finishing up year 2 now. Yeah, year 2 of the board.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. And Arnie, you've been with Arion how long?
1 year, slightly over 1 year.
Okay, great. And where were you before that, just so the folks know who are listening?
Yeah, I was at my previous employer was Wood. And so Wood Group Mustang, I was there all 23 years and had a strong background, technical skill set. And like I said, an opportunity arose a year ago that I couldn't pass up. And fortunately, I was like, yeah, I'm ready for this. And part of I owe ECC for the confidence it installed in me to say, hey, I'm going out there. I go out visit customers and we can build this brand together. So
I love it, man. That's great. Thanks, Arnie, for sharing a little bit about you and always add some color to the interview. So, Arnie, I'm going to stick with you for one other question. The ECC conference is known for its high caliber speakers. We've had futurists, we have economists. I've been attending for, 12, 13 years, true icons and fantastic content. What can attendees look forward to from this year's keynote lineup, which I could say is pretty incredible, Amy?
So typically we always bring an economist or geopolitical person. I don't know the word right there, but someone specializes in geopolitics, right? And so this year we have Amy Webb and Todd Buchholz, I believe. And so they're coming in, they're going to address that day 1, day 2, Cooper Manning, and we finish it off with Kevin O'Leary. And so looking forward to hearing out, with Cooper Manning, hey, how did he adapt when he overcame his medical procedure, recognize that, hey, you know what? You had that tough conversation of you can't play football anymore. And say, hey, how does that? It's a humbling experience. And all of us go through those in our careers. And he had it very, very early on in his, and how do he twist, adapt, change, and, how does he move forward in his family? People know his brothers, right? They don't know Cooper. And then Kevin O'Leary, you're looking forward to him. We all see him on TV as a Shark Tank guy. But he does a lot more than that. You don't get in that position, and I don't know, you don't create cryptocurrency exchanges if you don't at his level. Yeah. If you don't know what you're doing. And so just looking forward to hearing their insights on things of, hey, delivering an innovative approach, adapting and performing there. And then also one thing that we've carried over the last few conferences is more of a mental health note. And we do have the one individual that's planning on speaking on that as well. So
yeah, I like how the conference has put that in, and I interviewed Greg Sizemore from ABC on mental health and suicide in the construction industry. To this day, still one of the most tagged, mentioned, and followed podcasts I've ever done. So no, man, great content. I like all that. So Ben, man, I haven't heard from you. I got to get you into this. So let's talk about the Future Leaders Program. Ben, tell me about your experience in the program first off, and how did you get pulled into ECC?
Great question. So for me, probably like most, when I first got involved, I honestly had no idea what to expect. I was that guy that walked in completely lost, but figured, hey, if nothing else, this would be a great networking opportunity, right? I'm in BD. I'll meet a bunch of people. This would be great. What I didn't expect honestly was how much the program was going to stretch me and challenge me. It really did. And at the end of the day, it's really helped me grow a tremendous amount. I ended up putting myself in some really uncomfortable situations and quickly realized that it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was actually what I probably needed more than I realized. So from there, that evolved into me becoming a liaison, one of 4 liaisons that oversees the future leader program, so to speak. And that took it to a whole new level for me. It's funny because I can still remember going to my first future leader event and seeing those liaisons up on stage and thinking, who are these people? They're crazy. What are they doing? Like, I would never do that. That's literally what's running through my mind. And here we are today. So, became a liaison, learned that it wasn't just about being in the room anymore, that it was really about connecting the dots and helping this future leader program get along with other seasoned leadership in our industry, which is huge. I think that's what the association provides more than anything is people like Jan are able to sit at a table and do a round table with someone who may be 5 or 10 years into this business, which is incredible.
Right.
That was something that I took away really early on, and really just about supporting the future leader co-leads and helping them succeed in their roles, leading their committees, and now gearing up to become, first year board member. Pretty excited about that. Just really grateful for this entire journey, honestly, and just looking forward to seeing what's next.
And then when will your board term start? Is that happening right after the conference, or when is that?
Yeah. So once so for us, the year beginning is the conference. So everything happens at the beginning and the end of the conference. So once the conference wraps up in September, I guess that's when our outgoing board members will lead their seats. It's a 3-year term. And then some of our new incoming board members will take those roles and those responsibilities on. So just super excited, really humble, and very, very gracious to even be considered a part of this board. It's a very impressive group. I'm not quite sure how in the heck I got involved in all this, but I got really lucky.
Awesome. Well, you've committed time to it, too, and I've known you for
over
a decade, and I've seen you dedicate a lot of time to the group. So thanks for doing
it. It's well worth it.
One question: if someone's listening to this, Ben, and they want to be a part of Future Leaders or learn more about it, I mean, talk about talk about what they can find out, or how can they on board.
So the key, for the Future Leader program, to me, it is the core of ECC. So, but the caveat to that is the only way you can become a part of the Future Leader program is your company has to be a sponsor. So at the end of the day, if your company is interested in investing in you, and hopefully they are, they can become a sponsor of the program. Once they become a sponsor of the program, they can nominate you to become a part of the Future Leader program, which is a 3-year program. It really does give those rising leaders in your organization an opportunity to become exposed to industry challenges, a lot of peer-to-peer learning. We do a lot of that, which is really incredible. Once you get involved in committees, you're going to get a lot of peer-to-peer learning. And to me, I'm a part of a lot of different associations, you know that, Jeremy, and I don't know if I've ever seen something like this anywhere else in any association or organization. So I think what you get out of it is incredible, and it truly is, for the company, it's a true investment in their people. So if you become a sponsor, convince your company to become a sponsor, and then convince them to nominate you to be a future leader, and you're going to be plugged in for the next 3 years, probably into the best programs in this industry.
That's great, man. Thanks for that comment. So, Arnie, forums are a big part of the ECC experience, bringing together perspectives across industry. I mean, what are some of the topics being explored this year? And I'm kind of interested in, how are those chosen? It takes work to decide what we're going to be talking about at the conference.
Well, like I said, I feel sorry for the forums group because that is by far and above the most challenging. I've avoided that. I've always said, no, I'm better over here. But let me just give a shout out to the team that really leads that up, because they're in a no-win situation till game day, man. And it's pulling all these personalities together, all the people, setting up the scope of work, what's going to be discussed. And then you sit through a dry run and, hey, why don't y'all do this differently? And you're just like, oh, you can just sense the frustration in the room. But I really appreciate all the effort that goes into that. No one realizes that. So this year, what we have, I think we have one that's lined up with Disney Imagineering, and how can we pull that over into ours? We have another one with leading an inclusive industry in our workplace, and so we have a group of 4 female individuals, and it's one that, as we're sitting in the dry run, some of us are multitasking, but every time there was something said in there, I'm like, okay, I was focusing, right? And so I was able to hear what's going on, and so there's something that's drawing me to that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that. And then the last one, the other one I'm going to hit on, is backing into the fire, avoiding conflicts and resolutions. But we have some past leaders for owners and clients that are come up and share their war stories with us. And so that one's going to be led by Tony, I believe. Yeah, Tony Solepka. So he'll be up there and he'll be pulling this together, but just more of a fireside chat session. But that's where, hey, I understand. I have an execution background. Truly appreciate the leaders who on capital projects who come through and know how to dig into the details, right? And it's just not, they can get through all the words and everything, but at the end it should be, here's what went wrong, here's what we need to do differently, here's how we're moving forward. And it's really, I'm really looking forward to that. And plus you can see the balance of all these forums at the website. You go on there as you register, and so you'll see there's 4 or 5 others that are pickled through there, but I was biased. I gave my favorites.
Nicer. Funny, Arnie, you mentioned inclusion. I just went into AI and just asked what percentage of the industry, of oil and gas industry, is male, and only 20% of the industry is female in the industry. So there you go. We're at 80-20 still in the year 2025. So, and the reality is for a lot of what we need to get done here in the next 5, 10, 15 years, we need to pull in veterans, we need to pull in females, and pull in just many, many people in order to execute some of the things we have going on. So appreciate you mentioning that. So Jan, I'm going to come back to you. In addition to the content that already kind of covered, ECC is known for creating, connections and collaborations. I mean, it took me 2 minutes the first time I ever walked into ECC to realize this was kind of next level in that regard. Can you highlight again some of the networking opportunities that attendees can take advantage of throughout the week?
Absolutely. So those who sponsor the ECC Association, there's a full day sponsor only session the day in advance of the conference. So they'll be arriving early. There's going to be thought leadership content for them. So they'll be getting situated. There'll be that first time attendees reception on Wednesday evening leading into the conference, where you can get to meet other first time attendees, start to make new acquaintances, make friends amongst those who are attending. And then throughout the event, there are so many opportunities to connect. During the break time, there's structured networking elements throughout the conference as well. And there's a wonderful gala on Thursday evening where everybody can really kind of have a casual evening meal and chance to mingle with the other attendees and in the atmosphere there. So you're going to leave with all kinds of new best friends in the industry, connects that you would never have been able to put together over the course of years, all in one place. And another great thing is it doesn't end at that time. You can focus on your networking, you can focus on the content, and you don't even have to take notes, because when you leave, there will be notes provided to you where you can take this content away back to your day job.
I love that. The post events notes are great and gives us at BIC Magazine a lot of ideas for stories and content and interviews. So I love that piece to the conference, and that way I can focus too on what's being said. So very, very neat addition, and not many conferences do that. That's really cool that we're committed to that. Thank you, Jan. Ben, I'm coming back to you. I mean, how can people get involved with the ECC beyond the annual conference? You mentioned a couple other meetings. I mean, tell me about the sort of annual things that happen, year-round initiatives, committee meetings, and what other leadership opportunities, which from what I heard you say is really kind of where you saw the most value. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
At the end of the day, the biggest thing you can do is become a sponsor, honestly. The sponsorship gives you access to extra benefits. Jan mentioned the sponsor-only sessions. There's multiple sponsor-only sessions throughout the year. You can't attend those if you're not a sponsor. They're intermingled in with our what we call extra conference, which is a one-day conference towards the beginning of the year, and then we have our mid-year event that's somewhere sandwiched in between the beginning of the year and the annual conference. And both of those have opportunities for sponsor-only sessions. Also, it gives your sponsors the opportunity to nominate that rising talent we talked about earlier to where they can be plugged into that future leader program. The best way to get involved outside of the conference, which is amazing, and I'm not taking anything away from it, is the future leader program. And then lastly, you mentioned it, there's a ton of other things. We have monthly meetups that as a sponsor, you're able to attend. Your future leaders are going to be able to attend. And then we've got some additional events that we've started in the last couple of years, including an amazing golf tournament and a bourbon event that gives you tons of opportunities to connect. Two of the probably best events that I attend every year are those two of my favorites, honestly.
That's awesome, Ben. Well, guys, I just thank you so much for your time. Jan, Ben, Arnie, appreciate you guys jumping on today. Hope y'all had some fun, and thanks again for being here with BIC Magazine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeremy. Sure. The ECC conference continues to raise the bar. I'm going to be there, and it's clear that 2025 is going to be an excellent event. For folks that are watching and you want to learn more about the conference, go to ECCassociation.org. And as always, thank you for watching. For more interviews, industry news, and insights, visit bicmagazine.com. And remember, it's what we do together that counts.